I'm feeling so sharp right now. I brought in a new team, new strength and conditioning coaches, new nutritionists. So this is the best I've...
Jake Paul has done it again, announced his next big fight, as if he's already crowned himself the undisputed champ. Classic Jake, living in his bubble of delusion where every matchup is a guaranteed win.
Jake Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check.
But this time, his opponent isn't some retired athlete or overhyped YouTuber. It's Andrew Tate. You know, the guy who doesn't need a boxing paycheck because he's already swimming in cash. Sorry, Jake, but your chances of winning this one are hovering somewhere around zero.
Because there's a lot of pressure, because you're putting your ego on the line, and secondly, because you have to dedicate yourself to a training camp completely and fully. You can't just do one pad session and put it on the fucking internet and talk about being a fighter. You need to dedicate yourself and try hard and set a date where you have a fair competition against another man and put it on the line.
Dream big, buddy, but those dreams won't protect you when Tate steps into the ring. Tate isn't here for your antics, your staged hype, or your Instagram persona. He's here to shut you up and make a point. Jake, get ready to kiss that false bravado goodbye, because this time, you're not just losing, you're getting absolutely dismantled. Tate's about to make mincemeat out of you. And honestly, we can't wait.
Nobody's sitting down right now. For good reason.
I do.
Not only champions of the past, we have world champions of the present. Marissa Shields in the building.
Andrew Tate is kickboxing champion, internet provocateur, and currently under house arrest. And honestly, the only shocking part of this is that Jake somehow thinks anyone is still buying his carnival act. Another day, another overhyped spectacle that screams, "Look at me," instead of, "I'm a serious athlete." Jake isn't fooling anyone, least of all me. Let's rewind for a second. Andrew Tate called Jake out years ago, back when Jake was still throwing limp punches at fellow YouTubers and pretending he was revolutionizing boxing. And what did Jake do? Ghosted. Didn't even look Tate's way. But fast forward to 2024, and suddenly Jake sees a golden opportunity, or should I say, a golden payday. Tate's name has blown up, his controversies have turned him into a household name, and Jake smells money like a shark smells blood.
Because you managed to become a fucking clown, the biggest clown on the fucking internet.
But Andrew Tate has been under house arrest for 6 months. 6 months. The man hasn't stepped inside a gym, let alone a boxing ring. He's legally stuck in his Romanian mansion while Jake's out flexing in Miami, pretending this is some epic fair showdown. Yeah, Jake, super brave of you to call out a guy who can't even leave his driveway. At this point, calling it a fight feels generous. Let's just call it what it is. A well-calculated cherry pick disguised as a blockbuster event.
I'm on month 6 of house arrest so far, and we'll see how long this continues for, so I'm gonna have to miss it, unfortunately.
And Jake's not even trying to hide it. He's all over social media hyping this up like it's the fight of the century. Meanwhile, Tate, housebound and all, still manages to exude more confidence than Jake has in his entire career. Tate flat out said he could beat Jake with 6 months of training. Meanwhile, Jake's been boxing for years and still struggles to win unless his opponent is older than his dad or coming out of retirement. And you just know Jake is hoping Tate's legal situation keeps him at a disadvantage. Because let's be real, Jake doesn't want to fight. He wants a guarantee.
Yeah, no, I think deep down he wants me to win 100%, but...
And about this fight's massive potential, Tate estimated it could rake in 1.5 million pay-per-view buys, translating to $90 million in revenue. Sounds impressive, right? But let's not get it twisted. Tate's fan base isn't just large, it's fiercely loyal. The man could probably sell tickets to a thumb wrestling match. Meanwhile, Jake's fans seem to tune in more for the drama and memes than his actual boxing. Sure, he has millions of followers, but how many are really buying into this? And let's not even talk about Jake's track record. This man has built his entire career on beating people who are either retired, untrained, or just there for a paycheck. His 7-1 record might look decent on paper, but dig a little deeper, and it's a parade of cherry-picked fights. Remember when he fought a 47-year-old Anderson Silva? Or when he turned Tyron Woodley, a former UFC champion, into a meme? And now, he's lining up Tate, a guy who hasn't fought professionally in years and can't even train properly. Bravo, Jake. Truly groundbreaking stuff.
Some of my idols, Anderson Silva, to win Knockout of the Year, cover of Sports Illustrated. Like, I've accomplished my goals and beyond.
Meanwhile, Andrew Tate's combat sports resume makes Jake's look like a backyard wrestling league. Tate's a 4-time kickboxing world champion with over 40 professional wins. His fights were about winning titles, not boosting a YouTube channel. Jake's boxing, on the other hand, started as a joke and has barely evolved since. The gap in experience is laughable. And yet, Jake somehow thinks this is the fight that will cement his legacy.
If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life.
But here's the funniest part: the social media war. Jake might have more followers, but Tate's audience is on another level. They're not just followers. They're an army. They show up, they engage, and they dominate the narrative. Jake's fans, on the other hand, seem more interested in roasting him than supporting him. So good luck winning the PR battle, Jake. You're going to need it. This time, the PPV projections for his rumored fight with Andrew Tate are as inflated as his ego. Tate confidently claims the fight could pull in 1.5 million pay-per-view buys. And of course, Jake is nodding along like he's already deposited the checks. At $60 a pop, that's a jaw-dropping $90 million in PPV revenue alone. Add an extra $5 million from gate sales and $10 million from sponsorship deals, and we're looking at over $100 million for a fight that's more hype than substance. Impressive, right? Sure, if you're into overpriced, glorified sparring sessions that make fans regret wasting their hard-earned cash.
Probably like 1.5 million pay-per-view buys at like $60. So like 90 million just in pay-per-views, and then probably like another $5 million in gate, and then like $10 million in sponsorships. So like $105 million.
Let's talk about Jake's PPV strategy, which has been called everything from exploitative to outright scammy. Fans are fed up with forking over $60 just to watch Jake hop around the ring, pretending he's the second coming of Muhammad Ali. Meanwhile, his opponents are either plucked out of retirement or clearly unprepared. But hey, why offer a legitimate fight when you can sell a fantasy instead? Jake knows his audience isn't paying for boxing. They're paying for the drama. And somehow, he keeps getting away with it.
I'm feeling so sharp right now. I brought in a new team, new strength and conditioning coaches, new nutritionists. So this is the best I've...
Training camps for this epic matchup are shaping up to be as theatrical as the fighters themselves. Jake's Miami training sessions look less like boxing preparation and more like a fitness influencer's photo shoot. Sun-soaked beaches, flashy gyms, and a whole lot of Instagram-worthy moments, because nothing screams serious fighter like perfectly curated selfies. Meanwhile, Tate is out here claiming he'll train in the mountains of Bosnia for 6 months, painting a picture straight out of a gritty Rocky montage. Sure, Tate. And maybe Jake will be sparring polar bears in Alaska. Both of them are selling a story, but let's be real. Jake's version looks more like a reality show than a Rocky sequel.
Because if I were to fight Jake, I'd have to take it very seriously. It'd be a 6-month training camp. I'd have to go to the mountains of Bosnia and not do much else. So
now, about their fight styles. Jake, at 26, has youth and those heavy power punches going for him. But beyond that, he's all bark, no bite. His strategy is simple: swing wildly and pray for a knockout. Meanwhile, Tate's years of experience as a 4-time kickboxing world champion give him precision, speed, and a mental edge Jake could only dream of. If this fight actually happens, it won't just be a physical battle. It'll be a mental game. Jake's mental game is about as sharp as a butter knife. Then there's the sparring offer. Andrew Tate, house arrest and all, invited Jake to Romania for a private sparring session. Tate even floated the idea that the session could make millions, even if the footage never sees the light of day. Bold move, but also hilariously ironic. For someone who claims to be all about the fight, Jake has been suspiciously silent. Maybe it's because sparring with Tate would risk exposing the gaping holes in his boxing skills. Jake's entire career is a carefully crafted illusion, and a sparring session with someone like Tate could shatter it in seconds.
if it was that easy, like I said, Jake and I could spar, of course, but that video would be worth millions of dollars. So we can't just throw it on Twitter for free because the whole world wants to see it.
And let's not ignore the fan reactions to this sparring challenge. Tate's followers are practically frothing at the mouth, calling Jake a coward for ducking the offer. Meanwhile, Jake's fans are bending over backward to defend him, claiming sparring would give away too much of his strategy. Strategy? Jake's version of strategy is swinging like he's in a bar fight and hoping it works out. There's nothing strategic about desperation. The buzz around this fight is exactly what Jake wants. Endless speculation, heated debates, and his name plastered all over social media. But let's not forget his pattern. Every time Jake hypes a fight, it ends the same way. Negotiations mysteriously crumble, and Jake blames everyone but himself. Whether it's KSI, Tommy Fury, or now Andrew Tate, Jake has mastered the art of building anticipation only to let fans down. It's his signature move.